What's going on, trainers? It's your boy Danny back one more again with some more Pokemon Go PvP battle videos. This time, Season 4 Ultra League Premier Cup. Now the Ultra League is back. We're going to get straight into the battles. I have quite a few to showcase, but let me introduce you to the team as we go along. Alright, in the lead, eventually, we're going to be running Gengar. So I'm going to start off without Gengar in the lead. Gengar is running the moveset Shadow Claw, Shadow Punch, and Shadow Ball, which is the preferred moveset, but it may cause problems as we'll see in this game. Gengar, of course, is Ghost and Poison. In the back, we're running Lapras. Lapras with the moves of their Ice Charge, Surf, and Skull Bash. Lapras being Water and Ice. And we have Gallade, a new addition to my team. One I'm super excited about, actually. And Gallade over there is running the moves Confusion, Close Combat, and Leaf Blade. And it is a Psychic and Fighting. Alright, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking it's a Fairy. I don't know why. Psychic and Fighting. Alright, let's get into this game over here. So, you'll notice that in the first games over here, I start with a different lead. I start with Gallade in the lead. I mean, I was so excited to use it, put it straight in the lead, and it did okay for me. But I did come across a couple of problems, and you'll see. So for now, we're using Gengar as a safe swap. Working well so far. Baiting with the Shadow Punch into this Clefable. Clefable, by the way, would absolutely destroy Gallade. Clefable's in the back, so all I wanted to do was take both these shields so I could bring in my Lapras and build up all the way to a Skull Bash. I've got a shield, so I should shield this Meteor Mash probably. Shield the Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash will be neutral against Lapras because Lapras is Ice and Water. And I go to the Skull Bash, and at this point I'm like, uh-oh, Dan, what have you done? Why wouldn't you just throw the Surf? But thankfully, the thickness of Lapras saves me. Lapras, thick. Lapras, so thick. And I appreciate Lapras for it. Alright, so we take our first game over there as a win. Okay, we'll talk about the team and we'll talk about the different movesets. And here's the thing. In the Ultra Premier Cup, everyone is running Venusaur. That's one thing that I've noticed. Almost everyone has a Venusaur. Or a Venusaur counter, because Venusaur seems to be the most, crazy thing. So I have two things that can handle Venusaur here. That's Gengar and Gallade. And of course Lapras. Even though it loses to Venusaur, we'll still be able to do damage with those Ice Shards. So in this game we see a Honchkrow in the lead. That is terrible, because Honchkrow absolutely deletes Gengar. Also beats Gallade, okay? So I immediately switch into Gengar, hoping that they're going to switch. Thankfully, they do switch into their Clefable, into my Gengar. They use both shields, which is now perfect. Because at this point, I should be able to shield once. I don't, for some reason. Okay. Okay. Oh, no. I know why I didn't shield. Honchkrow is absolutely terrifying, so I need the shields for Honchkrow. But it is super glassy, so I should be able to do some work to it. Now, this is great. All I need to do is shield. Because they have no energy, they switched out, remember, when I switched into Gengar, they only probably got one Snarl at the time. Close Combat is absolutely going to take out Honchkrow. It's neutral because even though Flying resists fighting, that Dark is super weak to fighting, so it ends up being neutral. And Close Combat is an incredibly powerful move. And yeah, of course it lowers my defense, but I have one shield. So at this point, I will be able to Confusion this until I reach another Close Combat and absolutely take out that Machamp. So that's how I dealt with a Honchkrow in the lead. Thankfully, they switched out of my Gengar. If they had stayed into my Gengar, they would have taken out my Gengar. However, I would have done some really heavy damage because I would have thrown a Shadow Ball or taken a shield. And then I could bring in my Lapras to farm it down. And yeah, so that's the plan for dealing with the Honchkrow in the lead. Right, we got a Gallade into Togekiss. This is horrible. Togekiss is another Pokemon you're going to see loads of in the Ultra Premier. Probably a lot more now because remember, Togekiss was made available at GoFest. They bring in their Snorlax, which is an absolute hard counter. The only other hard counter... actually, which one is a harder counter between Snorlax and Obstagoon? I think Snorlax, because Snorlax does super effective damage with the licks, whereas you double resist the counters from Obstagoon. But yeah, Snorlax is absolutely gonna resist this Gengar. So at this point I was considering, like, should I give my Gengar like Sludge Bomb? Oh man, I was real confused. But anyway, they eventually lick me all the way down. I throw 2 Shadow Balls and it barely takes half of Snorlax health, which is crazy. I'm going to bring in my Gallade. I don't shield anything because I know that this Togekiss is going to come out anyway. They switched into their Togekiss before my... I shouldn't have thrown that Close Combat. I should have held on to it. Alright. In future, don't waste your close combat on... Either way, it wasn't going to make a difference. Because this stupid Togekiss gets the boost, attack and defense rise sharply. There's literally nothing I can do at this point. They've still got a shield, and look at that. Look at that Togekiss, absolutely dominating my team. So Togekiss, of course, is another one that you're going to see a lot of, and both Lapras and Gengar can handle Togekiss pretty well. Gengar resists the charms, but Gengar is so glassy that, yeah, it's still going to take a lot of damage from them, so you have to watch out for that. Let's check out some more games over here. Again, still starting with Gallade. And I did give pause when I came across that that Togekiss and Snorlax combination, because that will absolutely dominate me. Okay, this is tricky because we have to call the bait that Lucario has Shadow Ball, but they almost always throw Power Up Punch first. I shouldn't have shielded. I should have just called the bait. And yeah, sadly, I'm baited. At this point, I'm like, they have to throw the Shadow Ball. I've baited twice. How insane. And they have a Shiftry in the back. So I bait with my own Leaf Blade. And at this point, I should recognize that I'm only going to be able to get one move off. So just throw the close combat. No, for some reason, Idiot Dan throws the Leaf Blade. They don't shield. And yeah, this Shiftry is going to take out my whole team. Shiftry can take out my whole team. That's actually quite ridiculous. So yeah, both Pokemon in the back are super weak to Shiftry. I bring in Lapras, hoping that I can survive a Leaf Blade. It should take slightly less than half. About half my health. So 2 Leaf Blades will take me out, and I was hoping that I'd be able to do a lot of damage just with the Ice Shards. But they've got a shield. They bring back in that Lucario. I switch into Gengar to try and do as much, to try and Shadow Claw it down before it gets to a Shadow Ball, but no point. And yeah, nothing I can do. They still have a whole Pokemon in the back, and it's a Lapras. Oh wow. First of all, I played that game horribly. Secondly, the lead just didn't work out at all. Okay, so we've just lost 2 in a row after we thought we had a great start. So let's see if we can pick up in this next game against Raphael E.T. Dan. What's going on, Dan? You're going up against Dan as well. Alright, so in here we got our Gallade. You know what? Let me turn down my background music. We can hear some of the battles. Gallade into Swampert. This is a good lead. Swampert does slightly outpace Gallade to the charge moves. But I can survive a Hydro Cannon, whereas a Leaf Blade will completely take out this Swampert. So I get a little bit too greedy, so now I have to dump. Now I have to shield. Whereas if I had thrown initially, oof. Anyway, I have 2.5 Leaf Blades. So I'm going to throw the one. And unfortunately, as I was throwing, look at that. They get another 2 Mud Shots in. This is ridiculous. So at this point, they should be able to outpace me, I think. Will I shield? No, I'm not going to shield. I'm going to keep the shield for the Gengar in the back. And I'm going to use Lapras to Ice Shard down. Okay, that's the plan. But if I hadn't been greedy, they probably wouldn't have double shielded. But I'm still in a pretty good position because this is definitely not an Earthquake, I think. Yeah, it was too quick to be an Earthquake, and I can just Ice Shard all the way down, and I have almost a Skull Bash. And they bring in a Venusaur, or rather a Sceptile. Why did I say Venusaur? I'm going to hit it with a Skull Bash. Skull Bash is a super powerful move, 130 base damage. And I'm going to switch immediately into Gengar to eat this Leaf Blade. It's not going to do much damage at all. And I'm going to Shadow Claw down. Oh no, they switch immediately. They have no shield, so all I have to do is get to this Shadow Ball. It won't take it out. I don't think it will take out this Dragonite. Oof, Shadow Ball from Gengar hits so hard. That's ridiculous. And I'm able to Shadow Claw down. Gengar, oof. Absolutely love Gengar. It's so glassy, but man, it hits like a truck. Alright, so we go 3-2 in that battle. I like the team as a whole, but I noticed it just had too many weaknesses. So you know what I decided to do? I decided to switch it up. Same team, this time Gengar in the lead. Let's see what happens. Gengar in the lead and Gallade on the safe swap. Gallade does really well on the safe swap because you get a whole confusion in of energy, and that could make a huge difference. So you got Gengar into Dragonite. Here's the plan. Gengar is in the lead to take a shield. That's your only job. And between Lapras and Gallade, we should be able to handle whatever's in the back with a shield advantage. So they think I'm baiting. I throw a Shadow Ball. It takes out that Dragonite. We've already established that a Shadow Ball takes out a Dragonite. and they bring in their Lapras, which is great because Gallade will be able to handle Lapras. And we've got the shield we were looking for, as well as taking out a whole Pokemon. So this is great. And I get to reach to another Shadow Punch. Gengar clutch in the beginning, and I already felt that that was a great idea putting Gengar in the beginning. Look at that. Took out a whole Pokemon and a half and a shield. Shout out to Gengar. Now, I recognize that at this point, they likely have a fighter in the back. That's what I'm betting on. And for sure, they have a Machamp. That's why I brought out my Lapras to mirror their Lapras instead of the Gallade. And now I can align my Gallade against their fighter. Perfect. I resist the Rock Slides. I could shield, but I resist the Rock Slides. I resist the Cross Chops. I'm going to shield here just to preserve health. I don't want like an Ice Shard taking me out, but I would have survived that Cross Chop. And I have 2 Leaf Blades, so it's curtains for this Lapras. Plus, I still have a shield, even if they're at a charge move. So this is GG's. So even though, look at that, Gengar took the shield in the beginning and took down a whole Pokemon. So that's the thing with Gengar. Either you're going to take it out or you're going to take a shield. So Gengar in the lead is just so clutch. And very few people lead Snorlax. So that's the thing that might be a problem. If they put an Obstagoon in the lead, actually Obstagoon will destroy my whole team. Yeah. So let's just hope we don't come across any Obstagoons. All right, we're going up against Diversa. And something weird happens here. Look at this. There's some weird lag that goes on for a while. And I figure it's that usual thing that happens, you know, when it doesn't get into the match. And for some reason it comes up with a time's up. The match starts and it stops. And my screen just goes black and I can just hear sounds of battle in the background. That was so frustrating. That lasted for a while until I canceled the game and went back in. But thankfully, it only counted as one battle. It didn't count as a battle. So, whew, I was about to be mad. So we get back into this game. Gengar in the lead, Gallade in the back, and Lapras. Rather, Gallade on the safe switch and Lapras in the back. Let's see what happens here. Gengar into Venusaur. Great lead for us. We resist the Frenzy Plant, but we can't take 2. We can only take 1. Shadow Ball. If they don't shield our Shadow Ball, we will be able to Shadow Claw down. So they throw their Frenzy Plant. We take it. It takes about 50% of our health. Slightly more than 50%. I'm expecting them to shield, so I thought that I'll be able to take a little bit more health. Unfortunately, they don't shield. If I had just thrown that Shadow Ball, I'd have taken out that Venusaur. But that's fine because we have a plan, right? We want to take a shield. We didn't manage to. No problem. We'll bring in our Gallade and we'll be able to use... No, actually, you know what I'm going to do here? I figured that their Venusaur would be a Lapras counter. So they likely don't have another one in the back. I bring Lapras out. They bring out Charizard. Charizard loses to Lapras, especially Lapras with an energy lead. So I recognize here that his only win condition is to bait. And like the double mind games happen here because then I don't bait. Then I don't shield, right? If it was a Blast Burn, it would have taken a lot of health. But I figured he must throw a Dragon Claw. This, I'm almost sure is another Dragon Claw, but I got to use the shields at some point, right? So I shielded up. I'm able to build up just a little bit more. One more Ice Shard will give me another Surf. So I throw this one just to throw him off on the energy. I throw the Surf, he shields. He's got no more shields. One more Ice Shard, Surf, boom, before he threw. I think he was at a Dragon Claw, but not a Blast Burn. And knock out that Charizard with all that energy. You know what? They bring in Swampert. I'm going to let him throw his energy. It's just a Hydro Cannon. And I still have a shield. Even if I didn't. I will be able to survive a Hydro Cannon and I will be able to get to this Leaf Blade, which will be one-shotting that Swampert. Boom! Gallade coming in clutch again. I love Gallade. I can't believe I went seasons 1 to 3 without Gallade. Oh, wow. It's probably going to be in every team of mine from now on, I think. Oh, no, I do want to try out like Tangrowth, so probably in coming videos I'll do that. But for now, normally when I see this, I believe the opposing player has force shut the game. I believe there was a bug previously that would grant them the win, but that doesn't seem to be happening anymore. So thankfully that's been sorted. Don't be that person, yo. Don't be that person that force shuts the game. I'm not saying that that's what you did. I'm just saying I've heard that that's what people are doing when it freezes like that. All right, so we got Gengar into Charizard. This I counted was only 4 fire spins. That's a Dragon Claw. I will survive this. And my goal here, remember with Gengar, is to take the shield. At this point, they bring in a Poliwrath. I think they think I'm going to throw a Shadow Ball and dip. That's why I throw the Shadow Punch, but I save it and switch into my Gallade, which is a great answer to this Poliwrath. Ice Punch doesn't do that much damage, and I'm chunking away with these confusions. I could throw a Leaf Blade, but I'm going to farm all the way down. This is likely a Dynamic Punch, which does slightly more health than Ice Punch, even though it's resisted. But yeah, now I have a lot of energy. They bring in the Charizard. I get to the close combat. A little bit greedy because that Fire Spin is going to register after I throw this close combat. But at least I've taken the shield and I can bring in... I decide to bring in... I know I have a Shadow Punch on my Gengar. So I want to take that last shield. Boom. Good plan. And we both switch simultaneously. It's a Lapras with 2 shields against this Muck. So the plan is to come out of this matchup with a Surf stored, which should be easy enough, right? Lapras is bulky enough to take these Dark Pulses. Even if they throw a Sludge Wave, it will hurt a little bit more, but I should be able to tank them. I'll use 1 shield, of course. I wonder if I should have just gone for the Skull Bash. But no, remember my plan is to have a Surf for the Charizard in the back and to keep a shield just in case he's got enough energy to throw something. So I'm going to build up to 2 Surfs. I will take this Dark Pulse. I should be able to survive it comfortably enough. There we go. I can't take another one, obviously. I've got 2 Surfs now. I throw the Surf. Should be just short of taking out. 1 more Ice Shot does the trick. And this Charizard is going to come in straight to a Surf. If they had a move ready, I had a shield. So plan executed to perfection. Boom. Another win in the bag with Gengar on the lead and Gallade on the safe switch. So this is pretty much a Gallade feature, but it looks like everyone's pulling their weight. All right, so that's pretty cool. Okay, let's check out. I think we should be on the last set of battles. Who we got? Coming up against Irving AC91. What do you got for me, Irving AC91? So he brings in a Gyarados. Okay, the plan remains the same. I am going to throw, well, I'm going to threaten a Shadow Ball. So you have to shield. This is an Aqua Tail. It was too quick to be a Crunch. So I'm not going to shield. I wasn't going to shield anyway. And I get to the Shadow Ball and I throw it. Now what I should have done, because they're obviously going to shield, I should have done 2 Shadow Punches, because that would have done a little bit more health. Then again, I am able to farm this all the way down. Okay. So I am going to eat a couple of crunches over here from this Gyarados. I decide to throw a Surf over here. It won't be enough to take it out, but then a couple of more Ice Shots should do the trick. I was just hoping to take it out before it got to another Crunch. Unfortunately, oh no, this is likely an Aqua Tail. Yes, it's an Aqua Tail, not a Crunch. Lapras can eat those for breakfast, dinner, and supper. And in comes a Muck. Okay, so I'm going to throw a Skull Bash. I was hoping they weren't really keeping track of my energy and they're not going to shield this. And I'm going to switch immediately, I think. Oh no, I stay in. Cool, good plan. Energy up. I should shield this because I'll be able to get to a Surf. Ooh, it's an Acid Spray. Okay, so I switch immediately because I figured I might not be able to get to that Surf. And they have another Acid Spray. Perfect. They bring in a Alolan Golem. Alolan Golem is rock and electric. Those Volt Switches are doing crazy damage, especially after that Acid Spray reduced my defense. But this Leaf Blade is super effective. I make sure I go all the way up to 2, and I throw them back to back. Hopefully this will take out the Alolan Golem, and that Volt Switch won't even register. And I should be able to shield the Dark Pulse that's likely coming here. And throw a Leaf Blade, because I just got to a Leaf Blade with that confusion that just went through. Or actually went past the Leaf Blade. I could have done a close combat just to be safe. But Leaf Blade is more than enough to take out this Alolan Muck. And just in case, I was going to switch into my Lapras, and hopefully an Ice Shard would take it out if it survived. And there we go. Another pretty comfortable win. We're now 4-0, I think. Let's see what if we can complete the set. Actually, I think you already know. My bad. But still, Y41E. My Gengar on the lead against the Kingdra. I have no idea how this goes, but I think that Dragon Breath is going to do crazy damage. But my plan remains the same. Don't throw the Shadow Punch. Throw the Shadow Ball. We want to take a shield. Ooh, what's going to happen here? They don't shield. If I had thrown the Shadow Ball, I'd have taken out that Kingdra and had so much health. Oh, Dan! Okay. They throw an Octazooka. I survive barely. I'm able to get to a Shadow Punch, but I am debuffed. Octazooka has a 50% chance of drastically reducing your attack. That's by 2 stages. So they didn't need to shield there, but perhaps they thought it was a Shadow Ball. And I bring in my Lapras. The reason I bring in Lapras instead of Gallade to farm down is because I know that I resist the Octazooka, so they have to go all the way to an Outrage. I was hoping I'd be able to take it out before they get to an Outrage. But either way, I'm not shielding. I'm going to keep both shields for the Gallade in the back. Let's just hope they don't have something like Togekiss in the back. And it is a Venusaur, so the fact that I got to farm down means I could go all the way to a Skull Bash. I take the shield. It's now 2 Shield Gallade against this Venusaur. The Venusaur is toast, but the question is, what is in the back? I won't be able to Confusion down, barely. Ugh. Otherwise, I would have had a shield and pretty much 2 close combats. And very few things can stand up to 2 close combats. But I have to use a second shield, and it's absolutely fine, because I just need to throw a Leaf Blade against this Swampert. 1 shot, in comes in the Venusaur, done and done. So that little change that I made of putting Gengar in the lead absolutely changed the fortunes that I was having, and I went 5-0 in this set. Love this team. This is probably my favorite team in all the previous seasons of Ultra League, because it just felt so like I could use it in so many places. It's just... Okay, let me see. Maybe I need to have another couple of sets, because there's probably something that I haven't seen or recognized. But I hope you enjoy that team. And if you get to use it, try out that Gallade. Gallade is incredible in the Ultra League Premier Cup. And Meta Danny is signing out for now.